CMSportsNet is made possible by Genova's To Go and by Carroll Links.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CMSportsNet Playoffs Highlights Show, Round 2. I'm Pat Stoetzer, and joining me tonight, back with me tonight, is former South Carroll coach Mike Kraus. Coach, glad to have you with us tonight.
Thanks, Pat.
We're going to be showing you highlights from 3 second-round playoff games from Carroll County, involving Carroll County teams. We have Manchester Valley at Linganore, Liberty at Middletown, and Winners Mill hosting Williamsport. Coach, some quick thoughts about the mindset of being one win away from the state quarterfinal.
A lot of nervous energy in those locker rooms tonight. So, hopefully they'll get off to a good start and we'll see some good football.
All right, we have some football playoff highlights coming right up, like Coach said. But first, we're going to hear from our sponsors. But don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hungry? Genova's To Go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's To Go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's To Go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's To Go. Genova's To Go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's To Go.
Welcome back to the CMSportsNet's Football Playoffs Highlights Show. Pat Stoetzer alongside Mike Kraus, getting ready to see how the second round of the regional playoffs went for Carroll County's teams. Coach, before we get to the highlights, you've talked a lot about the quality of Carroll County football for some time now. These teams come into this week with a chance to play in the round of 8. Just another example of what we see week in and week out in Carroll County?
Oh, absolutely. And I've said it before, Carroll County football is good football. And, they're proving it in the state levels this year.
Yep. Okay, but let's take a look now at the regional playoff bracket before we jump into the highlights. And we're going to go ahead and see the brackets for 2A, 1A West. And then we had, like we said, Liberty at Middletown tonight and Williamsport at Winners Mill. Liberty got past Century last week. Middletown beat FSK to advance. And then Williamsport knocked out South Carroll. Winners will have that first round bye. 3A West is up next. That's the one that Man Valley's in. We have Man Valley at Linganore and Oakdale hosting Sherwood. Those teams won their games last week convincingly, and Linganore handled Rockville as well to advance to the second round. All right, we are going to go now and check out Linganore and Manchester Valley from Newmarket. The Lancers are bringing in a 6-game win streak into this game, and their first ever meeting with the Mavericks. The Mavericks came into this one fresh off the biggest win in their program history last week, 23-15 over Westminster at Ruby Field, and Linganore entered the game with a 9-1 record. The Lancers led 14-0 early, but Man Valley answered with a 1-yard touchdown run from James Herndon. So the Mavericks were on the board there early on. Ethan Arneson has another touchdown. He had already scored earlier, this one from 6 yards out, and Linganore extended the lead to 21-7, one of the top runners in the state, Ethan Arneson from Linganore.
That guy's a dude.
He is one of your dudes, absolutely. A holding call pushed Man Valley back near midfield, but the Lancers did not let that faze them. Matthew Hauptman takes the pass and makes a house call, 35-7, Linganore pouring it on against the visiting Mavericks.
Yeah, that's tough for Man Valley and Coach Kuntz and his staff.
It is a tough challenge. Mavericks can't get their offense in rhythm, and you're going to see another touchdown there. That's the Matt Hauptman touchdown there. The catch there made it 35-7, and the Mavericks just really trying to get their offense in rhythm all night. They did have that score early. You're going to see quarterback Gene Magan here in a second. He's going to try to get things going from midfield, but Chase Perry is going to pick him off here on the near sideline. A little bit of a pressured throw. He's going to return it into Man Valley territory. So once again, the Lancers set themselves up in good field position following the turnover.
Yeah, when you get behind like that, you don't have any choice but to go deep.
Andrew Moxley waiting for the quarterback to get some room, going to catch a 39-yard touchdown pass behind the defense, and the ensuing PAT gives Linganore a 42-7 lead, and that installs the running clock in Newmarket. So we knew it would be a challenge for Man Valley off the bat, and Linganore flexing their muscle at home. Not quite done yet. Some Man Valley highlights. James Herndon's going to, that was actually a tip ball there, and James Herndon's going to get his second interception of the game. So he's playing well on both sides of the ball for Man Valley. He kept Linganore out of the end zone on that drive, but it was not going to be enough. We're going to see Amir Short putting the finishing touches here with a 30-yard touchdown run up the middle of the gut. And the clock is going to run out on Man Valley's season as Short scores for the Lancers. And it was not meant to be for Man Valley this week. Final score from Newmarket, Linganore 49, Man Valley 7. We saw Ethan Arneson score a few touchdowns. The Lancers are 10-1 and into the state quarterfinals, while the Mavericks finished their year at 6-5. I would ask you about what we just saw, Coach Kraus, but we can look at Man Valley's season as having its Super Bowl, if you will, last week.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it takes a lot after having that big victory to get your team back up to play, at that level at Linganore. They had a remarkable game last week on the road.
Yes.
I mean, that's huge.
And you told me before we came on, we didn't see each other last week, you weren't all that surprised at the result. Not that you thought maybe Westminster could obviously be the favorite to win the game, but Man Valley showed why they were a good team this year.
I knew that was going to be a very competitive football game to the end. And, Man Valley's got a stout defense. They can run the football. They're big up front. Yeah. And they did their job against Westminster.
Yeah, congrats to Man Valley for having a great season. Next up, we've got Liberty at Middletown, another Frederick County game for a Carroll County team, with both teams coming off lopsided first-round wins. These teams met for the first time since 2016. The Lions looking for their first win ever over the Knights. Let's see what happened from Frederick County. Middletown received the opening kickoff and kept the ball for more than half the first quarter, using a steady dose of running plays to move the ball downfield, and sets up that score right there. Ty Lawson takes the inside handoff, makes a nice cut, and then dragged a few defenders into the end zone. 7-0 Knights midway through the first quarter. Liberty's first drive went backward, and this third down sack, Chase Miller goes down. That's going to force the Lions into a punt. But 2 plays later, Middletown's going to give the ball up on the ground, and Kevin Kern from Liberty recovers it with 2:18 left in the first. So the Lions have a little bit of momentum early in this game against Middletown.
Yeah, turnovers are big.
Absolutely.
They can swing momentum quickly.
And it swings it right here. A 33-yard run by Kevin Poole. He's the reigning CMSportsNet Athlete of the Week. A nice run here by Poole to get around here on the near side. Inside the 20-yard line goes Poole. And that sets up a red zone opportunity for the Lions. And that's when quarterback Chase Miller found senior Seth Jacobs headed for the post, 16-yard touchdown pass. And after the point after, 7-7 late in the first. So Liberty did come to play early on against Middletown.
Yeah, it's good to see 27 back in the football game,
Absolutely. Too. Plagued of injuries during the year for sure. It did not remain tied long, however. Sophomore Ryan McClister is going to cap Middletown's next possession here with a 34-yard run that hits pay dirt and puts the Knights back on top, 14-7 after one quarter. Middletown strikes quickly.
That home field advantage is something that you just can't talk enough about.
You're right. Lions came back, however, right back. Miller's short pass on the run goes to Tristan West, who takes it 32 yards into the end zone, tied the game with just 2 minutes gone by in the second quarter. We've seen West do that a lot this year for Liberty.
Yes, we have.
Celebration there for Lions. McClister scores his second touchdown, though. This one from 18 yards out. Nice cut back there to the middle of the field, and a nice lead, 21-14 late in the first half. After the Knights stop the Lions on their next possession with time running down into half, Britton Poffenbarger sneaks in from the 1. The quarterback puts the Knights up 28-14 at the break, and that's a huge set of scores there by Middletown to go into halftime.
Yeah, psychologically that really will put your team under the gun.
Yeah, under the gun for sure. Yeah, the whole half to play still, though. Liberty does come out strong to start the second half. They really fool Middletown here. Little halfback pass, a wide open Michael Martin hauls it in. 36-yard touchdown pass pulls the Lions within 28-20 early in the third quarter. Nice play there from Liberty out of the playbook.
Yeah, you don't hold anything back at this point in time of the year.
Absolutely not, especially in the second half on the road trailing. Lions recovered a fumble but did nothing with it. It took Middletown just 4 plays before Poffenbarger scored another sneak, and it's now 35-20, so Middletown answered midway through the third. First play of the fourth quarter, Griffin Sheridan went around left end, 11 yards out, And just like that, 42-20 Middletown, the Lions are really facing deficit right now. They're desperately trying to get back in it late in the game here. Liberty puts together a nice drive, gets into Middletown territory, but Middletown's Alex Hoy makes interception with 8:46 to play, and that pretty much all but seals it for the home team. It's going to be a final score from Middletown, 49-20. The Knights advance and move into the Class 2A 1A state quarterfinals. Liberty's season ends at 5-6. Coach Kraus, the difference in that one, what we just watched, to me, you can tell me, but I would say it was Middletown's home field advantage and just their ability to score quickly.
Yeah, and I just think that, teams going into Middletown, Linganore, Urbana, Oakdale,
yeah.
There's just a sense of aura that you can't get behind. You have to get on top early and, put the pressure on them. And we weren't able to do that.
Yeah, they were. And Liberty held with them a little bit, had it tied,
Absolutely.
Cut it to 8 there. And again, like you said, pulled a few tricks out of their bag. You have to at this point of the season. It wasn't a winning record for Coach Larry Luth and his guys, but they had some success this year, and congrats to getting this far.
Hey, we talked early in the season that life after Jack and some of those other guys, man, I give a lot of credit to Coach Luth and his staff. He had some turnovers, too, on his staff. So
turnovers on staff, and you lose your all-county caliber running back for many games during the year. Kevin Poole fills in, does a really good job. They found something on offense with Chase Miller at quarterback, Tristan West at wide receiver. So some good things definitely in Eldersburg for Liberty.
Yeah, absolutely. Their future's bright. Yeah.
Our final game of the evening took place just down the road in Westminster, where Winners Mill hosted Williamsport for the second time this season. The Falcons beat the Wildcats back in Week 1. Let's see how the rematch went down at Big Mill. Falcons are fired up heading into the game as they look to post their program's first ever playoff victory, and the Wildcats looking to avenge that Week 1 loss. Falcons established their ground game on their first possession when Paris Lee takes the handoff up the gut, breaks the tackle and scores from 25 yards out to put the Falcons on the board up early 6-0. Good start for Winners Mill. On the ensuing drive, though, Williamsport's Corey Nelson gets the carry up the middle, and he rumbles through Winners Mill's defense for 30 yards right up to midfield. So we saw a little bit of that last week against South Carroll, and Williamsport doing it again early in this game against Winners Mill.
Yeah, Winners Mill, though, really got stout on their defense as the game wore on.
And you see it right there, forcing them out of bounds. Noah Rowley rolled to his left. It was a turnover on downs. Some pressure from Paris Lee, and Falcons took over on offense. Wildcats get it back after the Falcons go up 13-0, but the visitors cough it up, and Winners Mill takes over. So again, their defense stands tall against what has been lately a potent Williamsport offense.
Yes, you can't have turnovers this time of the year. Turnovers and mistakes will kill you.
Camden Cook lined up to add 3 more, but he was wide left on that kick. He was a little off tonight, still 13-0 for the Falcons. About 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. On third down on Williamsport's next possession, Rowley drops back, but is swarmed by Nico Baez and Victor Tejada. They drop him, looked to be a safety, but they marked him down at the 1-yard line. So another big play by that defense of the Falcons.
Yeah, I think Williamsport got a little lucky there. I was right on the line there. He looked like he was in the end zone.
We thought so too, but they did call him down at the 1. They punt, and the Falcons get it back, and following an encroachment call on a 4th down play, the offense came back out on the field instead of a field goal. It was 4th and 1. Tyler Carroll opted for the tush push, one of your favorite plays, and they converted a 1st and goal.
I was surprised that didn't get a flag, but it didn't.
It did not, and Malachi Denning gets into the end zone on the next snap, and the Falcons are up 19-0 with under 2 minutes to play in the first half. So celebration there in the end zone by Denning and company. Nice dancing there, too, by the 50 for Winners Mill. With one last drive to get some momentum before the half, though, the Wildcats take over, but Rowley is gang tackled by a host of Falcons. And we go into halftime with maybe a little bit of a surprise. Winners Mill up 19-0.
I was surprised it was still a shutout at this point, yes.
We know you like shutouts.
Yes.
Winners Mill, second half, continuing to attack. Nico Baez takes a carry from the gun, and he rumbles for a 25-yard gain. They did this a lot tonight, got chunk plays all night.
Pat, we talked about that 3-headed monster they have back there with Paris Lee, Nico,
and Baez.
Denning.
Yep. And Baez is going to finish this drive. When it gets down inside the 5-yard line, he goes in from the 2, and that's another 6 points for Winners Mill. And they are in control of this game with under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cook hits that PAT, and they're up 26-0 midway through that quarter. The Falcons defense continued to give whoever's at quarterback for Winners Mill or for Williamsport problems. Lee gets to Corey Nelson in the backfield. Again, Lee doing things on both sides of the ball, and Winters Mill is rolling. Dallas Poole caps it off here with another carry up the gut, and he dances into the end zone for a 33-0 lead. The ground game continuing to give the Wildcats fits for sure.
What do you think about that, Grandma Poole?
I knew you were going to talk to Grandma Poole one more time. Now Nelson continuing to work for Williamsport, and he takes off down the right sideline here. After a play fake, and he is actually going to get some space, and he's gone. 74-yard touchdown, so finally the shutout is avoided for Williamsport. We are into the fourth quarter now, and they get on the board, make it 33-6, but it's going to be too little and too late for Williamsport. They do score again, but the final score from Winters Mill, Falcons 33, Wildcats 12. Big Mill is 9-1. They had a first-round bye last week. They're into the 2A, 1A state quarterfinals, and Williamsport finishes at 3-8. And that is Winters Mill's first ever playoff win. And those are sweet. I don't care who you are and how long it's been. What are the takeaways from that, what we just saw there in the highlights?
Well, congratulations to Coach Miller and his staff and the players at Winters Mill.
Yeah.
I will tell you that, I said to you before, if you can run the football and play defense at this time of the year, you have a chance. And if the football gods are in your favor, then you're going to be there. So.
Yeah, and we talked about it as the season mounted up. If they could continue to do that, they had a chance to make a run in the playoffs. We didn't know they were going to be playing at that point, and we didn't know they were going to lose Caleb Crouch to an injury. That was a huge blow.
Not.
They lost the county championship game to Westminster. Then they had a week off to sort of rest and get things going. Who knows where you go from that? Well, clearly we know where they go, and they dominated Williamsport, who have been playing pretty well last few weeks.
Absolutely, and as I said to you earlier, I think that Mr. Utz is getting a little bit, comfortable.
Yes, sir.
He had some big plays late in the fourth quarter, and I think that's only going to do him, more justice. So
more wonders than that for that offense. And like you mentioned, we'll get to the scores in a second. I mean, Malachi Denning, Paris Lee, Nico Baez, and others, they run the ball so well at Winters Mill. They've been doing it all year.
Yeah, you look at their front. I mean, I looked at them closely tonight. They're not very big, but they are technical, man. Yeah. They get inside of you and they move you.
And that goes a long way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All you got to do is give them.
Not small. They got some big boys up front.
By no means whatsoever are they small. Yeah. Absolutely not.
They tossed them around a little bit tonight. Time to check the scoreboard from our second round of playoff action, the games that involve Carroll County teams. We are in week 11, round 2 of the playoffs. There you see Linganore advanced with their win over Man Valley. Middletown handled Liberty, and Winters Mill, their first ever playoff win, came at home. Their second win of the year against Williamsport. We're going to go from those round 2 scores to an updated look at the playoff brackets. Now, tonight's winners advance to the quarterfinals, and they get reseeded, though, in the next round. So that's why you see TBD there in the next round. We don't know who they're going to be playing. Necessarily won't play the same teams in the region, but that is Winters Mill advancing, and Middletown from that region, they will get into the 2A, 1A quarterfinals on that side. And then over to the 3A side, again, we saw the scores. Linganore got past Man Valley, and Oakdale stays unbeaten. They took care of Sherwood, so the Bears, who got to the finals last year, I believe, are back in the quarterfinals again this year. They're a force to be reckoned with out there in Frederick County.
That's a full team of dudes.
Just quick thoughts from the second round of playoff action that we saw tonight.
I'm real happy, Carroll County showed up. I mean, last week's win with Man Valley over Westminster, unfortunately they got the
buzzsaw in Linganore.
Yeah, it had to go to Linganore. I mean, Liberty going to Middletown, that's tough.
Yeah.
But I'm really proud of Winters Mill, man, what they've done this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go, how far they can go.
You've talked about them a lot. We've talked about it a lot, and rightfully so. A reminder: we've got more than just playoff football going on right now. Carroll County has a pair of boys soccer teams playing in the state semifinals on Saturday at noon. In Class 2A, it's Century taking on Queen Anne's at Glen Burnie High School. The Knights are into the Final Four for the 7th time in program history, and they last won a state title back in 2019. Nick McGinn leads Century's offense with 22 goals, and he has 5 goals in his last 2 games. So Century on fire right now. Another team that's hot, Liberty. They play Hartford Tech at Bel Air High School in the 1A state semifinals. The first such game for the Lions since 2010.
Wow.
Lucas Britos helped the Lions win a regional title last 2 games ago with 3 goals in their game against South Carroll. So good luck, and good luck to Liberty and Century in their state semifinal games tomorrow. Back to football now, and one more look at the soccer brackets. Sorry about that. The boys Class 1A, you see Allegheny and Perryville in the one semifinal, Hartford Tech and Liberty in the other one. They will meet in the finals next week at Loyola Maryland's at Ridley Athletic Complex. That's on the 1A side. And the 2A side, there it is, Queen Anne's and Century will face the winner. Whoever wins that game will face the winner of North Hartford Damascus. So some soccer action still to go. Next Thursday, Friday, Saturday are the state finals. More details to come in the coming days. Back to football now, and a look at our top plays, our picks for the top plays for the month of October. We have plenty of standout plays to choose from. Let's find out if your favorite team made the cut. Let's take a look. It's time for CMSportsNet's top football plays for the month of October. We went through our coverage of high school football games from the past month and came up with our top 5 picks for the best of the best. But before we get to the countdown, here are a few plays that didn't make the cut but still deserve a second look. October 6th, South Carroll at Winters Mill. The Cavaliers come back from 10 points down in the final 60-plus seconds, and Cannon Hunter sends the game into overtime with a 40-yard field goal as time expires in regulation. October 20th, South Carroll at Century. The Knights are hanging with the Cavaliers, and Trey Helmick gets a screen from J.T. Ferguson before turning on the Jets for a 65-yard touchdown pass. And now on to the top 5 plays of the month. Number 5, Tommy Hinkhouse comes up with a turnover for the Falcons defense by tipping the pass from Caleb Evans and hauling it in for a nice interception. Number 4, Eagles QB Ben Stevens sends a throw down the sideline, and Braden Haven snags it to complete a 43-yard scoring play. Number 3, Owls receiver Isaiah Sprinkle keeps his focus and grabs a pass from Kyrese Walker, stays on his feet, and races into the end zone for an 85-yard touchdown pass. Number 2, the Mavericks and Eagles are tied late in regulation before Gene Magan finds James Herndon down the near sideline for a 45-yard touchdown pass and the game winner. Number 1, the Lions have the Owls pinned deep, but Kyrese Walker does his thing and breaks off a 95-yard touchdown run to help Westminster get the road victory. Coach, we had the pleasure to see just about all those plays live, either on site or in the studio. Quick thoughts about how the regular season played out around the county. We saw a lot of great football and a lot of great plays.
A lot of great athletes, a lot of great coaching. I'm really pleased with where Carroll County football is today. I miss it. I can't wait to get back. But I'll tell you, there's some good football programs out there that got a great future in front of them.
We mentioned, the county championship game in Westminster won the county, and congrats to them. Kyrese Walker ends his career with back-to-back seasons of throwing for 1,000 yards and rushing for 1,000 yards. It had never happened before in Carroll history. Now it happened twice in a row.
He's a tremendous athlete. We talked about that week 1.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it. He was
talked about it last year too. So
yeah, definitely.
Before we head out tonight, some local high school news broke the other day. Longtime Liberty Boys basketball coach Brian Tomes was named the new athletic director at Westminster High School. Brian's replacing Terry Malloy, who is set to retire and leave his post in just a few weeks. So good luck to Brian Tomes in his new position. And of course, we wish Terry Malloy all the best as he heads off to retirement.
Definitely.
He won't be a stranger in Westminster. I also want to thank Mike Kraus for sharing his Friday nights with us all season long. We certainly appreciate your insight and your expertise. I know you don't want to be too much of a stranger in the scene, but I appreciate it all you did for us this year, my friend. That's going to do it for absolutely. It's going to do it for our football playoff highlights show this week. Thanks for watching, and thank you to our sponsors as well. Stick around to see the scoring plays from tonight's 3 games we gave you highlights from this evening. Be sure to catch all of our high school sports content online on Facebook and YouTube, as well as our website at cmsportsnet.com. And you can watch us on cable channel HD 1086. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Enjoy the scores.
Nice.
Hungry? Genova's to go. Pizza, pasta, subs, and more. Fresh hot pizza right from the oven. Genova's to go. A mouth-watering cheesesteak just off the grill. Genova's to go. Fresh baked bread and plump wings seconds from the fryer. Genova's to go. Genova's to go carry-out, delivery, mobile device, and online ordering is available at all locations. Westminster, Hampstead, Manchester, and our newest dining room in Eldersburg. For lunch, dinner, or any time in between. Genova's to go.